Hello again YouTube, Damien Jones here. As promised, today we're going to take another look at restoring these two vintage Action Men. Today I'm going to show you how to restring the figures. They're the same as the 1960s ones, these 1970s ones. They didn't remodel the body until the 1980s, but these two first versions, first and second version even, were strung together by elastics, and over time that tends to perish. You get wobbly figures and it's not good. Now, I've already done this one first. I've completely restrung this figure for you and tidied up the face. I'm going to concentrate with you in a minute on how to replace the hands, which are now missing on that one. Then, if I just bring you over here a minute, you'll see that we have a completely disarticulated Action Man, more or less, which we're going to restring, and I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So first of all, with the rubber hands, they too tend to perish over time. You know, it's been what, 40 years now, so you're going to need to replace them. I recommend that you use the original pegs. I'll show you why in a minute. About 10 years ago or so, they brought out the Action Man 40th anniversary collection, and since then there's been an absolute glut of reproduction parts and items that you can use to restore the original ones. I've got a pair of reproduction hands here. These are Action Man 40th gripping rubber hands, and they're absolutely perfect. They're ideal, in fact, apart from the wrist pegs are a bit flimsy. So what I do is I get rid of those like so, and just use the rubber hands themselves, attach them to the original wrist pegs. Now, first of all, because the reproduction wrist pegs are quite different, I just want to point this out, are quite different really to the original ones. The original ones are far better made, they're a much harder plastic. The tips of them, however, are a slightly different shape, so you need to trim the original ones down in order to get a good fit with these other ones. So I'll do that with you now. Taking a pair of plier cutters like this, just carefully trim on the other side, trim, and the same over here. We just carefully trim them, because this way obviously when you put the super glue on, it's not going to drag up the wrist peg and then seize up, you know, the movement, because you know you don't want that. See, now they're sort of trimmed to like a point, which means you've got plenty of space for the glue now. Okay, so I'm going to take a dab of super glue and we're going to finish this figure off, and then we'll move on to the next one, which we're going to restring. So just open the super glue, any ordinary super glue from the pound shop, anything like that will do, and we just apply in here a very small amount to the very bottom of that, because as I say, once you push the wrist peg in, it's going to spread up. So I'm going to do that now very carefully, just a small pool. Ooh. Let's see, just a small pool, and in the other one then we just carefully fit the hands over. Ooh, it will stick to you as well. And then we let that dry. I'm going to put you on hold now because I need to wash my hands. And there we have it. That's now dried and fine. And we're now going to put him to one side and carry on with the other figure, which we're going to totally restring. I'm not going to bother with the arms because they're already okay, but I'm going to bother doing the rest with you. So to do that, I'm going to take this small piece of garden wire to make a needle like we did last time with the other one. Okay, we take this needle and some ordinary knicker elastic, we make a snip so that you can see the end. So you can see the end. We take one of the legs, we feed this in through like so. See? Put you on hold a minute. Okay, so that it's fed through the leg over that little axle. Double it over like so. Get all the twists out of it as well. And then at the other end we pierce it through again with our needle. Okay, like so. Now what we do next is we take one of the ball sockets and we feed that over the top of our garden wire needle to meet the other part of the leg. Then we take our pelvis and we feed the right leg through the right hole like so. See? Then we take our torso, okay, and we feed it through this hole at the bottom and out through the neck post at the top, like so, and pull it up to join the rest. See? Let's have it all held together. Now, we take the head very carefully and we put our hook. You'll see there's a hook here which attaches inside to that bar rivet there. We feed through this eyelet like so. See? And then we feed back down into the body. This is a little more difficult. Back through the neck, out through here, and eventually the head should just pop back into place. Now you've got two pieces of elastic. You feed this other through the other side of the other leg and pull it tight. Like so. See? And we get the other ball socket and we put that down to the pelvis, and then we join this through the other bar the other side. In the other leg. That's got it to join. Now we'll tighten all this up just now. I'm just going to jump cut you for that. Now, holding the tension of the elastic with a pin, tie off the two ends on the other side and remove the pin. So there we have it, guys. We have now two completely restored, fully restrung and repaired vintage action men from the 70s. Now I'm going to be using these for a custom job over the next few days. In order to do that, I've been collecting some bits together, some uniform components, which I have here and here. I think over the rest of this video we're going to dress those and show you what I'm going to be using anyway. I'm going to turn these two guys into stormtroopers as part of a display that I'm going to be doing. So I've gone and arranged basically two stormtrooper uniforms, but they are slightly kit bashed, but that doesn't really matter, as these are going to be used to complement a vehicle that I'm going to be restoring. So I'm going to start dressing them for you now. So as you can see, first of all we've got some German trousers and jack boots. Those are both vintage Action Man by Palatoy. They're vintage. Next we're going to need some tunics, and there we have the tunics. Don't worry too much if they're a little bit tatty and old. We're going to be kit bashing these anyway. Next up, other basic pieces that we're going to need to complete a German uniform is I found these rather nice German soldier belts. Now these are not by Palatoy, these are by Dragon in Dreams. And also as trying to find the MP40 machine guns for these guys is nigh on impossible because they're nearly always broke, I've decided to substitute with some Dragon in Dreams die-cast metal ones, which I've gone and painted silver, as you can see. So we've got two of those, and we're going to dress that off now. Okay, so there are two German soldiers now with their belts on and their reproduction weapons. We're going to complete it now by adding, as I always do with custom jobs, I just like to add these little aluminium dog tags with Action Man on. I just think they dress the figure up a bit really, and they look good on your display. So if we just tease that over this chap's head, and one for his blonde friend here, there we go, and we complete with some M35 German helmets. Okay, and there we have it, folks. We have two figures all ready to go on display with weapons, and I think that's okay. And plus, also, if I ever decide to complete these uniforms, I haven't spoilt any of the original parts, so you know, I can do that at a later date. I'm just going to give you a quick taster of what my next video is going to be with these two chaps here. I have bought recently this Cherolier, if I'll just put these two troops aside a minute. I've bought this vintage Cherolier German motorbike and sidecar, and I'm going to be restoring that with you next time. I'm going to be replacing the decals and the stickers, and to be honest with you, also on the stormtroopers themselves, some of them, as you can see, have got some decals on, but some are missing. So I'm going to be replacing those. I'm going to be tidying this bike up, and I'm also going to be adding a machine gun to the front of the sidecar. So I hope you'll join me for that next time. For now though, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye.